And no longer, my Hangouts is completely broken. I don't know. And I don't get a bell. I don't get lower thirds. I have to manually bell it now. I don't get any of that fun stuff. But hello, everybody. We're here tonight with Jussi Lyons for his Challenge 23, or the big unveiling of all of his hard work in his website, which he's been working on. Hopefully not while he's flying, but he's been working on it. I'm sure he has not been working on it while he's been flying. In fact, he won't even talk to me when he's flying. So, but he's here with us tonight. Jussi, great to have you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you are live from, are you in Osaka?
I am indeed, Osaka, Japan, the southern part of Honshu here, and finally got the boots on the ground. Been working a lot recently, so it's good to be with you.
Very good, awesome. Yeah, we've been like Evan, we have been here and there and trying to get something scheduled, and finally, I think this week we're actually going to get everybody's hangouts out of the way. Finally, I just got to learn to keep my boots on the ground, I guess, and stay in one place more often. But so listen, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your photography and your journey so far in the Arcanum up to this point.
So I joined the Arcanum September 2 years ago, and actually just recently after moving back to Japan. And I was really busy doing some training and starting a new job here. But I managed to work my way into the cohort. I was in Glenn Guy's cohort for Sphere 1, which was really tremendous. I am a landscape and travel photographer. At least that's what my passion is. And due to the nature of my work, it's also very good because I get around quite a lot. So Sphere 1 was great, and I learned a lot, met a lot of new people, and then I moved to Andy's Sphere 2 about 6 months ago, and I've been working with him, doing a lot more website work and creating a new blog from scratch. So it's been a good journey so far.
Yeah, I got your website called up here, and we're watching scroll back and forth with all of these lovely images, nice and big on the screen. Yeah, and you've been so you've got a jump on. You came in a little late, but you kind of had a little ace up your sleeve because you had a pretty well established blog going before you got with us. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. I've been doing it for a while, and it's something I created on my own. Some of the other guys in the Sphere 1 in my cohort had also built blogs, and Glenn helped me a little bit with the blog work. But basically, it was a WordPress site that I was working on my own with no clear direction of where I was trying to go with it, but just trying to get my work out there and get some visibility. So yeah, it was had quite a few posts, which was helpful because I just had to transfer a lot of the old posts into a new blog when I started this one.
Yeah, that was a big help, I think, for you, helping you get caught up. I think was basically the fact that we could import a lot of what you had, and there was you did a lot of format work, as I recall, of getting things kind of formatted and a little bit of uniformity going here in the new the grid layout that we're in now, which gets all of your stories, I think, more stories in front of people, which is the idea behind the whole grid layout setup here.
Yeah, it's a tremendous amount of work, actually. It's not as simple as just transferring over some posts from another blog. The formatting and the SEO aspect of it are quite in depth, and it's not difficult, just a lot of little steps that takes time.
Well, it looks great, man, and you've got you are also a child of Smug Mug. We were talking about this before the get together here, and you have all of your images linked. So if anybody wants to purchase an image, it's super easy. They click on the image, it takes you right to a big giant version of the photo, which is gorgeous, and there's a buy button right there. They can purchase the image for a book. We were talking about books and magazines and commercial use as well, and also if they'd like to have a print on their wall, which is always nice, So that's all integrated nicely in there, and you should be, you know, before too long, you should start seeing some recycling hits between SmugMug and your website. So your numbers on SmugMug, after about another 6 months, you can kind of step back a little bit and look at those numbers, and you should see a real steady incline to those numbers on SmugMug when you start, you know, looking at that data. Yeah, I love looking at some of the stories here. You have a really wide range, something we had talked about when we were going over your galleries. And that is that something you feel that you're kind of turning the vice down on a little bit there, and kind of you know, kind of making it a little bit more granular to define yourself? Do you feel like
you and Andy, you and I talked about that. Yeah, I'm trying to put my work out there and brand myself as a landscape and travel photographer. And my work is, I take pictures of everything, much like you do. And I really enjoy black and white and portraiture and excuse me, taking pictures of many things. But as far as this travel blog is concerned, I've tried to dial it down a little bit and get things specifically located into places that I've been with travel galleries, so people can search by location. And it's about what I was doing on those while I was in those places. So yeah, definitely trying to I'll find a place to post the rest of my work at some other time. But yeah, definitely narrowing things down here.
Cool. Yeah, I think that that's gonna, like, really defining yourself. It took a while, I know, for me, trying to do that, and I noticed that my work, once I got a handle on it and I really had like a singular, what I felt was more of a singular purpose, I saw a real increase in the quality of my work. And I don't know why. It was just, basically because I wasn't really focusing on any other thing. I stripped everything away and kind of, and I do this regularly. I will strip everything away and make sure that the bones are still good underneath of what I'm doing, so I'm not heading off. Because it's real easy, I think, to get wrapped up in something that you like, and then suddenly it starts taking up more and more time, and that's okay too. It's just that when we're trying to get to a point where we can sort all that stuff out, it's tough to do that in a chaotic, kind of a chaotic soup. So it's always good to get it kind of sorted out, and then you can kind of work forward from there. And the goal of working with you here in Sphere 2 and doing all of this was really just that, was really just narrowing it down to what you want right now. Let's get that out there, get that solid, get you a good foundation. And now moving forward, you can evolve now, and you have a point to evolve from, rather than being in the middle of it all and be trying to evolve in 4 different directions at once, which I know is, for me, is, you know, I like I told you before, I love to shoot everything. Like, I still do. But work kind of dictates now that I don't do all of that as much as I did before. So, you know, I take a me day once in a while, and I'll go out back and shoot flowers, or I'll chase a butterfly around, or whatever. And I don't want that to be public knowledge. I chase butterflies too much, but you know, essentially that's kind of my outlet a little bit more so. And this has become, you know, more of my job. And it's one of those things where it's not really a job. It's very cool, you know, that it's a lot of fun, and I guess that's the best kind of job to have, right? I mean, is the one that's fun, right? You go to work every day and have fun with what you do, I hope.
Yeah, no, indeed. Much like life, less is more when it comes to this. And this whole experience of building this new blog and building a platform where you can just go out and post to on a regular basis. And like you say about the photography too, it's every aspect of it you can get so involved with at so many different levels. That's one of the things I really enjoy about photography, but also at the same time it can be completely overwhelming. So I think a lot of people identify with that, especially when they start taking pictures or learning. So yeah, having a focus and just doing one thing really well is often better than doing 100 things poorly.
So is this you? Is this your plane you got here?
No, it's actually we're on the North Island of New Zealand. Oh no, South Island. Sorry, it's near Mount Cook, and it was just it's an old American actually crop duster that was transported over to New Zealand, and they rebuilt it, and now they do tours in it. And a friend and I, obviously being pilots, rented it for an hour and went up and flew around at 500 feet, old school.
Nice.
And, that was great time.
I was going to say, it looks like a Bush pilot's plane. You know, it looks pretty rugged. Looks like you could drop it in just about anywhere.
I'm sure it's been through a few bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Very cool. Love that image, man. That's a great image of you. All right, just looking through your pages here, showing them off. If anybody is out there, I'm going to show you a neat feature on UC's site that you need to make sure you check out. But if you go to uclyonsphoto.com, that's where his website's at. And this is the page I was talking to you about earlier. You might want to put on here a little bit about your images. You can edit this page and you can add text or whatever before. And I've told everybody this so far. Go and just steal the text that I have on my page if you'd like, whatever you decide you want to do. But essentially, you can tell a little bit of people about how they can use your images and what's okay and what's not okay. It's always good to put that on the contact page because anybody who's interested in working with you or using your images for travel agencies or anything like that down the road, this is what they're going to see. So if you put a little introductory text here and kind of give them a little guidance, it's always a good thing. So I'd probably add that to this page just to fill that out just a little bit. And I can help you with that, of course. And then we got your galleries, which we just finished up, which was the whole idea here was to make it seamless between your SmugMug account and your WordPress account. And a lot of people who will surf here won't really know that they're going from one site to the other. But this is actually SmugMug that we're looking at now. And back here at home is actually the WordPress site. And the idea behind that and the design is to make folks comfortable with a little bit more comfortable with purchasing and a little bit more personal because they feel that they haven't left your arms of your website. And that, you know, because you have a storefront here, they are purchasing from you, which they are, which is, you know, SmugMug and your print house is just a kind of a liaison for your work. But this is, you know, just a way of making those folks who want to purchase a little bit more comfortable about spending that money and knowing that they're going to get something that you approve of. So that's the whole idea behind kind of gelling these two things together, is to not make them feel like they're being transported off to La La Land somewhere, which can happen. We get, you know, all these templates that we get, and they look nice a lot of times, but they don't think about the end user or the people that we're putting our work out there for. So that was the whole idea behind making these all match up. And you got your most popular photos here right on the front page, which is awesome, and they're all giant. And here's one that you just did a story on, which is beautiful. Excellent work, my friend. Yes, very nice. Love it. And this is all beautiful travel photography. And some of the things that we're going to want to talk about in the near future is marketing some of this stuff for you, because I think you could sell images to these travel places that you know, basically would support you. That's a great image right there. Beautiful. Awesome. Good stuff, my friend. That is you on top of the W.
That is indeed. Yeah. Down at the W Hotel for, they actually had a movie night down there, and we I don't know why. I think I just saw the light on the W, and I was like, we have to do something with that.
Nice. You got some yoga skills there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In the making.
All right. So how is this? So next thing that we need to talk about a little bit, I kind of set this up beforehand, is a little bit about social integration. So right now, and you can refresh my mind a little bit, 16 websites later, and I can't keep track of all this in my head. Right now you have a personal Facebook page. Is that correct?
Yes.
So one
personal Facebook page, and everything is shared to. Actually, I do have another. I have another Facebook page which I do not post to, which I'm going to be taking down. But everything is posted to my personal Facebook page, and there's no UC Lyons photography Facebook page anymore.
Okay. So, are you going to be losing an audience by removing that Facebook page?
No, it was never really established, so it was
Okay.
kind of it was an idea that never evolved.
Gotcha. Also, so you're on Google, obviously on Google Plus. It's kind of where everybody knows each other from. You're also on Twitter. Are you very active on Twitter?
Yeah, all the blog posts that get posted are tweeted out, and I share other people's work there and make some random tweets. So yeah, I'd say active.
Very nice. All right, and I am following you right there. Cool. So one of the things I'll hit you up on is your. I love your profile photo. Is this uniform across all of your social media?
It is indeed. Yeah, that's the image I chose for my icon.
Yeah, it's very creative, and it has a drawing effect to it, and I think that's very key to having a social media page that people want to be drawn to is doing a unique image for your profile photo. We all do these standard photos, but I love it when a photographer does something a little different. I take it you were diving here, or you're in a pool somewhere taking a photo?
Yeah, underwater shot in the pool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Got your photo up here at the top. That looks great. So the next thing that we need to talk about is actually integration. Get out of the full screen here. Is integration so that you, my friend, can get to taking more photos and writing more and doing less of posting to social media, which can be quite a time-consuming task. And so one of the things that we have installed on your system is the auto posting program plugin that runs in the background. And essentially what it does for you is it is a smart poster. So when you make a new post, it will automatically go to all of your social media networks, and it will begin to, it'll post those out automatically. And each section you can tailor to essentially post in a specific way to each particular network, which I think is where the strength lies in this particular plugin. So we're going to take a look at that really quick. And I told you I would help you a little bit with this. And you've already got things set up here in a basic format. And one of the things that we're going to talk about, I know you asked about it when we started, was the reposting feature, which I haven't really released to anybody in the cohort yet, because you really need a pretty big base of stories to do that with. If you start with too many or too few stories, then it runs through the cycle, and then you basically don't have any content, and people are like, why is he posting the same story over and over and over again? And we don't want that. And you are up to like 70 some posts or somewhere in there, so you've got plenty of posts to arm this with. So you've got all of your basic stuff in here to post to. Is this all the accounts that you're currently running right now?
Yes, that's correct.
Now I noticed, did you have a Tumblr site?
I do, but it's not there.
All right, yeah. So you want to add Tumblr in here and kind of get that in the mix a little bit, unless you're doing something different on Tumblr, which is fine. So make sure you add that one in if it's applicable. So the next thing to do is I'm going to start you out with, I think Pinterest is the safest place to start this with. It works, and if you mess it up, you can easily get into Pinterest and delete things and all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is when you come in here, you're going to go to the account settings and then advanced. So that's going to give you all the cool stuff in the background. And this is where you arm the reposter. Now, I was telling you earlier, anybody in the cohort who is watching this, please do not arm this until I tell you it's okay to do it. You're not okay to just copy what I'm doing here and start this. We're doing this with Jussi because he's ready for it. And he had a lot of posts that he brought over. So I'm going to show you see how to do this, and then you can go through the rest of your accounts, and you can arm these as you see fit. Okay. So, and that was not a pun. That was not intentional. It just came out that way. And I'm sure that's not the first time you've heard that, right? All right. So over on Pinterest, what we have here is we have the ability to auto repost. And so we can do a repost existing posts every so-and-so days, so-and-so minutes, so-and-so. So what I usually set this for is you can set this up to do existing posts. I usually set this up to begin with at 8 hours, and then I pick like a random number like 45, and then I randomize the posting time by 45, which means it'll do a 45-minute swing after. So it might post at 8 o'clock, it might post at 9:15, or any time in between those. So it makes it look a little more human when it posts. It's not so right on the money, which is what we want. And you can do, like, when you arm this, I highly suggest that you do repost previously auto posted post at first. That's just to lock it down so that it doesn't start posting willy-nilly until we can get some of these other settings done. You can control the time of day that it posts and the day of the week. This is totally up to you. I know some social media analysts say that you shouldn't post on the weekends. I don't know if that's exactly true. I've never really gone by any of that stuff, because you read somebody says that it's a survey says, you should do Tuesdays at 8:30 a.m. And then a week later, somebody says, oh no, the best time is Wednesdays at 9:50. I think you're just going to be changing your times all the time. I think it's change what you're comfortable with. Maybe post on your page and do some test posts, see what times work out best for you. But I think it's this change that we're going to be making with the auto reposting. At this point, I think you're going to see is a lot more interaction and a lot more traffic, simply because you're getting in the stream of people's news feeds a lot more regularly at this point. Mm-hmm. And that's the key. What we don't realize is we think when we post out to Facebook that all our friends will see it. Well, it's not the case. All of our friends are standing at the edge of a fast-moving river, and we are tossing a boat in the river, and our friends might be looking at the tree behind them and not the river at that point, and the boat goes right by. They turn around and look at the river, and they've missed it. And that's what happens on social media all the time. So we need to toss those boats in the river a couple of times, because we'll hope that they're turned around at the right point to see them. Now, you're still not going to get everybody, because that's just the way it goes, but this gives you a better chance at reaching out. I usually don't suggest a time less than 8 hours. It's just, you don't want to flood people's news feeds. The minute you start doing that, you'll get people unliking your page, and they'll go in the other direction. We kind of want to make this very organic to start out with. So we're going to start out with 8 hours and 45 minutes. And like I said, you can pick whatever you want here. I usually choose old to new, but you can randomize this if you want to. It's totally up to you, however you see fit. And then when finished, you're going to turn auto reposting off. This is totally up to you. If you're going to continue to add new content, you can just leave this on and loop it and let it just keep posting forever. Okay. Now, the thing with a site like Pinterest, if you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to fill up with all those stories like 6 and 7 times over. So for Pinterest, I would probably say turn off auto posting. But for Facebook, which really people only look so far down the feed, I would probably just let it loop and keep going, so your stories keep circulating out there. New posts are set by default to disable for repost. All that means is that they're not going to go in the loop, which means you're going to avoid double posting. So say you make a new post today and it posts to Pinterest today, and then suddenly the auto poster picks that post as an auto repost, it would post that same story again immediately on Pinterest, and you don't want that to happen. So you're going to set that for disable. And Let's see. I want to make sure I got everything here. Posting delay. You can set this posting account will only work as settings to auto post. So we're not going to do any of that. And then once we've got all of this set, the next thing we're going to do is hit update settings. Now what we're going to pay attention to, we need to open this back up, show settings, and then advanced again. What we're going to pay attention to is this number right here. You notice how this right now is 0. Yeah. Okay. So what we want to do when we're ready to let this go, which I'll let it go right now because it's going to wait 8 hours, I think, is we uncheck this box right here. And that basically will arm all the posts. So when I uncheck that and I update the settings again, when we come back to this, Pinterest, advanced, this should automatically populate. Now, if it doesn't automatically populate, you can hit the enabled for repost and it'll go through and it'll reset all of them. So let's just make sure that it's allowing. Might still have one setting turned off, so let's just make sure that's right. So it's still set to 0, so I'm not sure why that is. Let's see. New post would be. You may have some settings in each individual post. I hope that's not true. That'd be a lot of work. Yep, that should have automatically, let's see, according to categories. Yeah, that should have automatically populated this with all of your posts. So we're going to have to take a closer look at that to make sure that that is set up properly. Automatically, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So we'll take a look at that. Oh, let me do the right thing and reset your number. Try that and see what happens. Work in progress, folks. And for repost. Now, apparently, there must be settings per post, so we'll have to take a look at that afterwards. But we'll get this sorted out for you so that this auto reposts for you, and you can start setting this up for each account. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to go. I'll go look at some individual posts while we're off the air. And what I wanted to show folks before, if they're still watching your critique, which it looks like they are, make sure that you go to Jussi's page. And one of the things you're going to want to do is click on the blog. And then over here on the sidebar, under the blog, you're going to want to put in your email address right here. Because right now he has 3 subscribers. And he should have like 300,000 subscribers. So make sure you go to his page and you enter your email. All it does, this is like the greatest thing ever. I love this when I get up in the morning. What it does is every time Jussi posts a new post with his wonderful photos and stories, it will send you a little blurb in your email and says that he's posted a brand new story. And it gives you a link to go read it directly. Like you don't have to check randomly or anything like that. And it only sends posts when he makes a new post. So it doesn't spam you. It doesn't do any of that stuff. So make sure you sign up at his website. And you definitely should have everybody from the cohort in here. Knock, knock. People in the cohort. You should be signed up. I'm not sure they knew where your site was at. So now they do. So they can come here and they can sign up for yours.
There's no excuse anymore.
That's right. You can hound them now. You can go into the cohort bat phone and you can tell everybody, like, are you signed up? Because I don't see you on my list. Because Jussi gets a little thing that says, hey, somebody signed up for his website. So we're watching you guys. Get over there. Because he'll sign up for yours if he isn't already. So anyway.
I just did. Sorry, I was a little slow on that too. Everyone, I have subscribed to all of yours already.
That's cool. That's cool. So awesome. So there we go. Jussi, any questions at all about your design so far and where we're going?
No, that's the good news is there's a clear direction of where we're going, and I definitely know where we came from. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to go through all this and all the other stuff behind the scenes, getting it all set up and looking the way it should.
Well, you're very welcome, and your work definitely deserves it. And I can't wait to see where this takes you and how it grows, because this is just the seed. This is just the very beginnings And I can't stress that enough to everybody. This is just the platform for which everything grows from. And over the next couple of years, you'll really evolve, and all of the things that you've learned here hopefully will continue on, and you'll be able to use that knowledge. There's some really good things coming that will help you even further understand what's going on behind the scenes as well. So I'm looking forward to all of that.
Yeah,
very
me too.
Cool. Awesome, dude. Very nice. And everybody, I'm watching you. Make sure you get in there and subscribe for sure. Very cool. Well, Jussi and I have a little bit of work here to do before my critique coming up at 9 p.m. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. 7 viewers. Awesome, dude. That's very cool. So everybody's joining us and hanging out. And, of course, this is recorded, so you can watch it. If you didn't get to watch it live, you can watch it afterwards. And Jussi will have a link, so he can share that with all of you guys. So, Jussi, thank you very much. Don't you go anywhere, man. But we're going to sign off and say thanks to everybody, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, Andy.